Hello everyone! Today I'm going to talk about preparation and surviving winter. Note that this video will contain spoilers, so if you wish to explore the world of Aska on your own, now is the time to turn off this video. Still here? Good, let's go! I am a couple of days before my first winter. If we have not prepared this far, then it's time to do so now. We are going to talk about the following topics: food, clothing, and campfires. Let's start with food. Here is a chart over the different food we can grow on our farms and find in nature. As you can see, the majority does not grow or show up in winter. Our gatherers will only be able to find beetroot. So in preparation, we should try to store as much raw and cooked food as possible so we can't run out during the winter. During winter, fishing at lakes becomes 5 times as good, so if you have workers that you can reassign to start fishing at a lake, that is great. If you have opted for building your village at sea, then you can look into having fishermen with skipas during winter as well. You need to find the wolffish schools so your workers can catch them during the night. Hunting can become a problem during winter if you run out of arrows, as you will not find any bird nests with feathers. Big arrow wasters are the archers who are training. You might want to assign them to patrols so that the arrows mostly get used by hunters. It is good if you find a couple of wolvar and/or bear dens on your map before winter, when you still can move around without freezing to death, that you later can go and farm during the winter with a party of warriors for that extra meat. Next, we will talk about clothing. If you have not equipped all your villagers with clothing by now, this should be a priority. The villagers will freeze much faster without them and will basically become useless if they need to run to a fire every 5 minutes. On screen is the best gear you can get for your regular villagers. You might not have access to enough pelts to make the capes. In that case, go ahead and make the picnic blanket. Anything is better than nothing. If you have one farm, one of the fields should be dedicated to growing flax all year around. This will help with making sure you have clothing for your workers, but also so you can build and repair buildings that needs rope. If you have multiple farms, one of them should be dedicated to flax alone, and you could set some of the other ones to grow flax during winter. Lastly, we are going to talk about the campfires. Before winter starts, you should have built some campfires at key locations in your village. For example, there is no need to build them next to cooking houses, bloomeries, and metal workers, as they will always be warm due to their work. The cottages and longhouses have fireplaces on the inside. But barracks, farms, fishermen, archery ranges, and alike might be a bit far away and need some additional campfires close by. We always build campfires with the cover, because rain and snow will kill the fire. Now let's talk about fuel. A campfire with 100% fuel will reach 0% in 15 minutes and 30 seconds, no matter your day length settings. On screen, you can see how much the different materials refill fuel. We can see that coal is superior to everything else. But we cannot store coal inside our cottages or longhouses yet. So we need to have a little bit of firewood saved so our villagers can tend to their homes. Apart from that, we want to stock up on coal as much as possible. Depending on your day length settings, you will need to use more coal in order for your fire to burn a whole day. If you take into account how many campfires you have in your village, you can count how much coal you need as a minimum. You don't actually need to do it. I simply overstock coal myself. In the builder's hut, we will need to move firekeeping to the top at the end of autumn, as we will start seeing temperatures drop. When winter hits, it is good if we have selected that we want firekeeping to be maintained all day long and have at least one day and night builder to manage them. If you have a bigger village, you might want a couple extra people on it. You will notice if fires are often not lit due to 0% fuel. Don't forget to also make sure that coal is used as your highest priority fuel. Alright, if the preparations are complete, we should have no issues surviving the coming winter. Remember that you will get cold, so don't go out exploring without resources to whip up a fast campfire with a cover. Or if you have specific locations you normally like to frequent, you can build campfires there ahead of time. If they are far away from your village, your builders will not try to go and turn them on. Alright, we need to have a plan B for each of these steps. If we run out of food, you will need to help either hunting or fishing. Fishing requires lures, so if you have run out of food, you will need to hunt animals. I recommend having a couple of wolvar and or bear camps available if this happens. If you have smokers in a pen, you can kill them to save your villagers. If you have villagers start having trouble with enough clothing or it's just too cold outside, you might want to give them schedules with a couple extra hours with leisure so that they have time to tend to their needs but still function. This is an example of how I could alter one of my schedules to combat this issue. Especially if you play on extended or max extended days, each in-game hour takes longer time, while warmth depletes at the same rate no matter settings. Lastly, if you struggle with fuel for your campfires, you might want to help out with any stumps around your village. Or even chop up logs and long sticks in your warehouses. With this, I wish you good luck with your first winter. This concludes my walkthrough of how to prepare and for surviving winter. Thank you for watching.